Good morning, Akwaaba, and welcome to the second of our recipes of our month of Ghana food. Today is a recording of the difference because I have my maestro of post-production, Fernando, here with me in person today. So we're going to make the most of it. Hopefully you'll notice a few changes and tweaks to the video as we go along. And we're actually going to do 3 dishes, but 2 of them are new, so they're going to be recorded for the video, and 1 meal at the end of it all. So the meal we're going to do today is called Red Red. Now you may remember last week I said that the Ghanaians like their food spicy, so to call a dish Red Red is possibly a fair indication. But it doesn't have to be spicy, and we're not going to make it too spicy today. And they say it's called Red Red for 2 reasons. One is red tomatoes, and the other is red palm oil, which we don't have today. So actually, I suppose we're just cooking red. I'm not sure. But either way, it's called Red Red. And the main ingredient is beans. These should be, in Ghanaian tradition, they should be black-eyed beans, which again we can't get here. So I'm using some white pinto beans instead, but they should be a good substitute. Then we have, very much as you would expect in a Ghanaian dish, we have onion, garlic, ginger, chili, and fresh tomatoes. We have some oil. I'm using vegetable oil because, as I say, we don't have palm oil. A range of seasoning including rosemary, mixed spice, chili powder and curry powder. We also have a stock cube, some tomato puree and a tin of mackerel, which, if you remember last time, we added fish to our peanut curry, a peanut stew. And again, it's a Ghanaian tradition to add some smoked fish to their meat dishes and vegetarian dishes. But if you're doing this for vegetarians, you can leave that out. And because this should be smoked fish, but we don't have any, and really it should be a fish stock cube, but we don't have one, I've got some nampla, some fish sauce, which is from the Asia Far East area, but it's a good substitute in this dish, and some smoked paprika. So that's our ingredients. Now the beans, I soaked my beans overnight, so they're already in a bowl, having been soaked in cold water. I'm now going to drain them, put some fresh water in there, and cook them for about an hour with a bit of the garlic and a bit of the rosemary. And while that's simmering away in the kitchen, we'll chop all our vegetables. So the equipment we need is a chopping board, a knife, a bowl, a jug, a grater, a saucepan or saute pan, and a wooden spoon. So now I'm chopping up my onions into fairly small pieces, chopping my garlic, the chilies, the hot chili, and grating the ginger. So it's very much like we did a couple of weeks ago for our peanut stew recipes. The difference is we're using fresh tomatoes today, so they also need chopping too. So once that's all done, then we're off to the kitchen to start cooking. Okay, so now I've got my onion, which I've been frying off in a little bit of oil for about 5 minutes. I'm now going to add my garlic, my chili and my ginger to the pan and give that a stir around and let that carry on cooking for a minute or 2 longer. And now we're going to add our spices. So we've got our curry, our paprika and our chili. They will go into the pan. Stir that around just for a minute or 2 to let the flavors properly come out. Smells wonderful. And now we add our chopped tomato. Okay, so I'm now just going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes so that some of the juice and the water from the tomatoes evaporates. So we'll be back in 10 minutes to complete the dish and it could be ready. Our ingredients list is 200 grams of black-eyed beans, or the closest you can find, a teaspoon of rosemary, 2 garlic cloves finely chopped, 75 milliliters of vegetable oil or palm oil, 1 onion finely chopped, a 2.5 centimeter piece of root ginger peeled and grated, half a fresh chili finely chopped, 200 grams of tomatoes chopped, half a teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 tablespoon of tomato puree, a vegetable stock cube, around 60 grams of tinned mackerel, a teaspoon of fish sauce, salt and pepper. Okay, so our onions and garlic and ginger and chili and tomato have been cooking down for a few minutes. Now we're going to add a little bit of tomato paste, a little bit of our secret ingredient, which is fish sauce, Nampla. That's a lot. Should put 2 of that. And now we're going to add our mackerel fillets. As I say, vegetarians, you can ignore the stock if you don't want it, but it gives the dish an extra bit of depth, we find. Mix that all around. And now we add our beans, which I've drained, cooked and drained. Mix that all up. And now we've got some stock. We don't need too much. We just want to make sure it doesn't go too dry. So that's basically it. Done. We're just going to let that simmer now for about 20 minutes for the beans to warm through and for all the flavours to nicely mingle. And then we have our dishes ready to go. Red.